Hello people, welcome back. Last time we created a function that will allow us to select a function to handle a route. And this time what we'll do is we'll create a little test loop that will be able to handle a signal interrupt. And what that means is that when you say hit Control-C, the operating system sends a signal to the program that's running. And what we'll do is we'll be able to intercept that signal and gracefully shut down our server. So I found a nice little program here on Rosetta code that shows how to handle a signal interrupt. And so that's exactly what we're going to do is we're going to kind of copy this thing over here. And let's go over here, go to say create a def parameter. We'll turn this into a constant later. So this will be SIGINT. And that will be the value of 2. The other thing that we're going to do is create utility macros. And we'll copy and, undo. We will copy, let's see, copy. Oh wait, that's paste, isn't it? Okay, no wonder. Okay, so we'll copy, and then we'll paste over here. There we go. So now we'll copy this macro that will allow us to set a signal handler. And we can copy this macro just as it is. So that's very good. And then what we'll do is we'll add a little utility function, which will be to set the signal handler. So we'll copy this, and we will paste it over here. And we'll make some minor modifications to it. Because, actually, let's see, we'll say SIGINT. And we'll make some modifications to it because what we want to happen is we're just going to print out a little message here that says shutting down server. And then we'll do a setf server running to nil. All right. So the other thing that we're going to do is we're also going to create a little variable, a global variable here called server running. And it'll start out as nil. And what that will do is we're going to have a loop that runs our server. And that loop will continue to run as long as the server running is true. And so with some modifications, we could actually make this run, multiple servers. But for simplicity's sake, we're going to create a server where we can only run one server at a time. And so that way we can have this nice, simple little system to handle the signal. All right, so now we need to create, now we've got a signal handler. We've set the signal handler, and we've got our couple variables here with server running. All we have to do is create a function, a test function to test our signal interrupt. So we'll create a little loop. And so we'll create a function called, say, test loop. And it will, let's see. So what we've got to do is set server running to true. Then we can run our loop. And so there's no variable list. And then our stop condition will be null server running. So that's good for our stop condition. And then what we'll do is just for testing purposes, say that handling connection. And let's see, do we need to do anything else? No, I think we're pretty good for that. Oh, actually, let's do sleep. Otherwise, I'll run very, very quickly. And then at the very end, we'll have a message that says server stopped. Okay, so that seems pretty good to me. So let's do a quick load of TinyNet. And then we can say TinyNet test loop. And we should be able to run this. Now, the thing is I actually tried this a little bit earlier. And if I do Control-C, that's actually being caught by Emacs itself. And so if I try it again, you'll see that it stops Emacs, but it didn't actually run any of our functions. So what we're going to do instead is make sure that this is saved, and we'll just run this in a terminal. So I will have I'll rep SBCL, and then I can do quick load. We're going to say quick load tinynet, and that will load tinynet, and then we can do the same thing that we were doing before. So test loop, and now this will say handling connection, and it's doing 1 per second. And if I do Control-C, it'll say shutting down server, and then server stopped, right? So that's very good. So it did exactly what we wanted it to do. So let's just exit out of this. So this is actually pretty good. So I think we'll stop here for today. Next time what we'll do is we'll put all of this together, and we'll actually put our server into this loop and actually serve multiple connections. Well, I guess a single connection at once. And that'll be pretty good. So thanks for watching. Till next time.